I've never seen a task that you need to write to a patient or a patient's carer, and I don't think they would ask you as doctors to do that. But I think it's mostly referral, discharge, transfer, and it is very important to be aware of the audience. And I think SBAR is a logic, or is you can write different ways, but that is the most logical way, basically, and that is the standard now. If you search in the if you Google it, you can see that there are so many studies on systematic handover. So there's ABPI, NICE guidelines. All the guidelines actually recommend systematic handover format. Okay, and you remember I showed you in the criteria, in the marking criteria, it is specifically mentions that knowledge of a handover document genre. So that is actually something which they consider a positive point if you show awareness. Okay,
Oh, mhm.
good.
Thanks, doctor. Thanks a lot.
Okay, right. Okay, what do we have now? So, well, I think it sounds to me like you have got the point, and you know how to approach writing. I don't think you need much of a lesson, really. It's just writing and practicing. So basically, um, what we do is, first of all, we need to make sure how do we approach writing?
First, you should know to whom we want to write.
Okay, so the purpose actually, and basically who is writing to whom. Okay, and why. Okay, and after this we can decide the urgency. Is it urgent or not urgent? Okay, now my only argument here is that to the district nurse, to the community nurse, you were writing a letter today, and when is the patient being discharged? Did we have that in the case notes?
Yes.
So when is she going home?
No, no. The time that she goes home, no, we
Is it
don't have this
okay?
in
So
this case.
when is she being discharged? We don't know that.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Uh, in a letter
It
that
is
we have
today.
write.
Today discharge.
Yep. So she's being discharged today. And so when do you think the nurse needs to go for dressing?
Maybe
2 days after.
Okay, maybe today or tomorrow. Now,
Yes.
we're sending her home today. Probably we do the dressing and then send her home. But tomorrow she would need dressing. Therefore, do you think we should write an urgent referral, or is it just a normal referral?
a
Urgent.
normal.
Normal, I think.
Okay. So we write a referral, we put it in post for the district nurse.
But doctor, if it's normal, I think it's take 1 week.
Okay.
What
We
should
post
we
or
do tomorrow?
we put in the patient hand.
So you mean the patient needs to go to the district nurses herself?
Yes. Okay, then an urgent, we need to use urgent.
Yes, I think it makes sense because the patient is going home today.
Yes.
So we need to inform the district nurses today that this patient is going home. So it's probably a good idea if you fax or email it, or if you actually say this actually needs to be sent today, uh, and to be seen today, to put it on their caseload for tomorrow. Yeah, usually district nurses prepare a caseload for the day after, and first thing in the morning, some of them go and see the patients on their way from home, on the way to work. So they just go straight to the patient and then come to work. So anyway, I'd say depending on the system, sometimes it's just they have internal mail. So you just write the letter and it is sent to them ASAP. So, but I think yeah, it is worth mentioning that she needs dressing tomorrow, and she probably needs to be visited tomorrow. Okay. So, who is writing to whom and why, and the urgency. And after that, we decide the present situation, what it is now, then the background, then what we want. Okay? So, the situation.
Sorry, if we write the nurse today in the letter, it is not necessary to write urgently, emergently, anything like that, because we email that as soon as possible. Yes?
Depends if
Maybe.
yeah, you want to make sure, okay? We just want to show awareness that we know the patient needs to be needs dressing tomorrow. So
Yes.
even if you don't use the word urgent, you need to say, you need to emphasize, the patient is going home today and therefore will need dressing tomorrow. Okay?
Yes.
So even if you write that, that would be acceptable. But what I'm saying is different in different settings. You wouldn't know. If it's Australia, district nurses should go a long way to visit the patients because the distances are so dispersed. So basically, they need to know that they have to travel to the patients.
Yes.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
In this letter, it's in case notes. We didn't know when should the nurse see the patient. If we write some days with ourselves, is it extra information or it's proper?
Well, it is. I mean, logically, when do you write a letter to the nurses? Is it
Okay.
a week before the patient goes home, or the day before, or on the day?
On the day.
Yeah. So, so that is not adding illogical information, or.
Okay.
But if you think it is illogical, then you can say that. Well, anyway, I think in a um, in a in an original case note, they would actually tell you that the patient is going home today, and it was the case that the patient was going home the same day. Okay. So the situation, and then we write the background, and then assessment and plan. Okay. Now, I noted something that you said. Well, we won't have enough number of words, guys. We don't want that. If you put extra words, you lose marks. So just for the sake of a better word count, do not write extra information. Okay. Um, and try to write as fluently as possible. If you use some discourse markers like furthermore, in addition, also, they actually cause a stop. They cause a pause in writing. So they're not helpful. Okay. One of the candidates was telling me, well, there is a 400-page material that everybody studies, and so what's wrong with that? It says that we have to do this. I would say that was written 4 or 5 years ago, and the writing exam has changed in August. So don't do the same thing, because you won't actually score high. Okay, and you said that you're listening to Ken. I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, if you want to, you can do. You're free to do that, but I think probably there it's not evidence-based or based on references. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So, do we have any problem with writing? Do we have any questions? Anything you would like to ask?
Okay,
Excuse me.
doctor.
Go on.
Excuse me, in this letter, the date of writing the letter is the date of discharge the patient. Am I correct? It was 18/05 of 2019. It was, is it correct?
Yeah, it's
Because
probably
I think
the
doctor
same.
writes another date for the date writing the letter.
Okay. And why?
Am I correct?
I don't know. I
18th
don't
of June?
remember. Yes,
It's 18th of
June
June?
6 or 5. May. May, June. Excuse me.
Is it May?
Yes, May. It's
Yeah,
true. Yes, I
it's
am.
18th of May. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and it is the May examination, actually.
Yes, yes, true.
Okay. Right. Any problem?
Excuse me.
Yes.
If in the case note mentioned that it is he or she is my regular patient, we must mention it in our writing or not?
Uh, when you're a GP and somebody is your regular patient or is
Yes.
not?
In some case note, write that this is my regular patient, but sometimes it doesn't mention. It's necessary to write in our writing my regular patient or not. It's not necessary.
Okay. Let's see what others say. What do you think, guys?
I don't think it is necessary.
I think it depends on the case note. Sometimes we are a specialist or registrar in the hospital, and we transfer or discharge the patient to the regular GP, and we are not uh, a regular patient
Oh,
at
the
all.
question was if a GP is writing to a consultant, do we need to say this is a regular patient? I'm referring to you.
I think it is
No, I
Doctor,
don't
obvious.
think so.
It's
doctor, it shows that patient go a lot to the clinic, and the doctor is oriented to the situation.
right.
But
Okay.
I think it depends on the case note. Sometimes write the case note that the first time they visit the patient, or uh, patient comes to me the first time or regular time.
Okay.
I think.
Right. So what you mentioned was a frequent attender, not a regular patient. Okay. A regular patient means somebody who is a normal patient in your practice. Normally we say that versus a new patient, okay? Now, sometimes we mention, well, this is a new patient, just to say that I don't know them very well, okay? So this is, so if I say, well, I'm writing to refer you this new patient of mine, okay, or this patient who has joined our practice. So what am I saying? This means that I don't know them, okay? That is the only relevance. But if you say it's a regular patient, now again, if you want to emphasize that I know this patient very well, okay, uh, is that so? Is this necessary? Are you actually? Is there any reason you want to emphasize that I know this patient very well? If it is, you can write it. Okay. And if you remember this, for example, should we write the occupation of the person? Is it necessary?
If relevant to her or his disease.
Yes. If it's relevant, we do. Okay.
Yes.
So the same way here. Now, a frequent attender, well, we don't actually use that often because, you know, the letter could be seen by the patient too, and the patients wouldn't like that if they see it's a frequent attender. But if you are really fed up with the patient, you can say, well, we have a frequent attender who would like a second opinion. Okay, it means that he's putting so much pressure on me, and I just don't know what to do with him. Okay, and we do have patients like that, a frequent attender, or we we call them heart sink patients. Okay, but never say that. Okay. It's heart sink patients. When you see their name on the screen, you say, "Oh my God, not him again." Okay. Right. Um, yes. So, any questions? Any more questions?
Sorry, saw some case note that the GP who want to write the referral letter, who has, for example, an address in the case note. Is it necessary we shoot the address, our address?
No.
Not really. You just need to because we want a letter format. You really need to write the receiver's address on the top. Uh, uh, well, that would actually just kill your time. I don't think that is necessary because that is not scored anyway.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, the receiver's name, sorry, the receiver's address, and then the date should be enough.
In the case note, the first we write RE. Okay. It
Okay.
is what is the abbreviation for?
Referring or reference with reference to.
RE or REF?
No, RE, just RE.
RE.
Yeah.
And R and E a capital letter or in the case on the case?
No, we usually write capital R and small e
Small.
and then colon. Yes. So that's it means reference to this. Actually, a lot of people use that as a, um, you know, for example, you have complaining of, okay, or they say, for example, on examination, or so they also say re. So, for example, we can say we had a discussion instead of about, they say management. Okay, so this is actually one of the quite common abbreviations. So yep, that is means with reference to or about. And you know, one day and week and all of those, yeah, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
1 day, 1 week, 1 month.